The ancient Commagene civilization, founded between 162 and 72 BC in the southeast of Turkey amid the Roman Empire and Parthian Kingdom, and at the west of the Euphrates, is a buffer state that reigned for 234 years. Being a small but happy country, as Strabo stated, this civilization lived its most brilliant period during 69 to 36 BC, under the reign of King Antiochus I. The ancient Commagene civilization remained for a short time on the stage of civilizations, but kept its historical texture for thousands of years. One of the best examples of this texture is Arsemia. Frederick Karl Donert discovered the Nymphaeus Arsemia, the palace city of Commagene, in 1951, and began his excavations 2 years later. Arsemia, which historical significance was also revealed with the excavations, was built by Arsames, the ancestor of the Commagene, at the beginning of the 2nd century BC, at the east Karta stream, which was called Nymphaeos in ancient times, and it was the summer capital and the administrative center of the Commagene kingdom. Although the city was founded at the beginning of the 2nd century BC, the majority of the ruins we see today were built by King Antiochus I. The first Nymphaeus Arsemia is the only hierothesion that could give an idea about ceremonies and official architecture. The city was founded in such a way that it could meet all the needs of the people, but only the palace plateau, 3 pedestals, 2 tunnels, and ruins remain today. The descriptions for Arsames and the founder of Arsemia in the inscriptions are exactly as follows. This Arsemia that houses the Nymph River in the midst of its 2 breasts, feeding from inexhaustible sources, was founded by my ancestor Arsames. This city is by itself divided into 2 hills, seeing the sacred waters of an exuberant river flowing into a cliff in the region. Arsames surrounds with a wall on both sides the city's 2 peaked body. The place called the Nymph River is the Karta stream. During Commagenian era, this name was given to the water between the 2 castles. Nymphaea stream means fertile and holy water. It is understood that the Nymphaea stream was first joining the Charbinas, i.e. Gendera waters, and then merging with the Euphrates irrigated the area from here to the capital Samsat. The inscriptions are the most important sources for this information to reach the present day. One of the most important features of Arsemia is the presence of the largest Greek inscription written on a single rock in Anatolia. The inscription, containing many information about the Commagene kingdom, has been preserved to the present day. On the inscription on it, it is written, the hierothesium, which the king of the Commagene Mithridates I, who was nicknamed Callinicus or Fine Defeater, built for himself, was located in the middle of the sacred monumental tomb. His son Antiochus made this holy place even more beautiful. The priest he had appointed was responsible for ensuring that the father and son were extolled together. The birthdays of the father and son were to be celebrated every month by all citizens with sacrifices and festivities. The expense of these festivities were to be covered by the kingdom properties that the priests were administrating. Apollo Mithras stele is located to the south of the city. This stele, i.e. stone work of art, is reached by a staircase of 18 rock steps. The stele is thought to be a handshake relief, and although the Apollo Mithras depict is still in good condition, Antiochus I, the one whom he shook hands, depicted is unfortunately lost. Another stele from Arsemia that could reach today is in very good condition, and this marvelous stele actually tells us a lot. In this stele, we see the king Antiochus, who made this stele, is handshaking with Hercules, i.e. Hercules. Antiochus I wears Persian clothes and has a kitaris, a tiara on his head worn for the first time by King of Commagene. We see the lion depiction on top of his tiara. Standing facing left across, the king who has the scepter of kingdom in his hands. Heracles has his club, his stick on his hand, and the skin of a Nemean lion between his two legs is evident. The Dexio seen here depicts in a way the handshaking of King Antiochus I with God. In Nomos he made written himself, he states this better by saying, I have made the eternal dignity of the great gods contemporary to my own young fortune. There is another relief which is missing a significant part in the Arsemia. This is the handshaking stele of Antiochus I and Mithridates Kallichnicus. Unfortunately, this relief has also been largely destroyed. There are two tunnels in the Arsemia city. You descend one of them from a high arched rock chamber carved into the rock mass. The interior of the rock chamber opens into a 10 meters long tunnel with staircase. According to Wolfram Hofner, the inscription on the back of the first base, which is at the rock chamber located in the cave and called Naos, states that here lies the tomb of King Mithridates I Kallichnicus. However, according to some sources, although this cave was originally built as the king's tomb, it was later used as a cold storage room. The second tunnel in the city of Arsemia is located under the rock inscription, which is thought to have an altar at its entrance and extends till the castle. The assumptions that this tunnel, which can now be travelled only 158 meters, was used to get out of the castle during wartime, and the need for supplies and water are provided from this tunnel, still needs to be proven. Due to the earthquakes and natural disasters over the centuries, these tunnels have been closed now. Another area that is lost in time is the ceremonial chambers located at the top of the Arsemia city. These ceremonial chambers had 4 or 6 triniculiums, i.e. a table that has 3 dining couches where 3 persons could sit around it. Some of the rooms could accommodate approximately 104 guests. As they had windows or door openings facing out, these triniculiums were giving the guests the opportunity to enjoy the unique landscape. As the king said, facing this view, people should be able to eat and drink without being watched, and the temple servants and female musicians had to fulfill their duties. While some of it remains with all its glory, and some of it is lost, Arsemia continues to bear the traces of hundreds of years of history and carry it to the future.